Hi there. We will start with things that you might have come across in your life, in movies or in your normal life. So I'm just highlighting some of the important things to keep in mind and that we will build on later in the videos. Let's have a look at perspective. If you want to make your life easier so that you can understand what's going on around you, you will need to know perspective. Now, there's many things that contribute to changing how you understand something, and all of those things together is a perspective that you are looking at a specific situation. So, if you look at the picture next to me, there is a man and a woman, and they are arguing. So you can stop the video and have a look at all the detail at any time. But when you look at this closer, there are 5 viewpoints that I describe. And when you stand in one of these viewpoints and you look at the situation, it will change how you think. So it is one situation, and with 5 different viewpoints, you have 5 different ways of thinking about it. Now, that's not the only thing that influences you. Your history and, if you have a history with a knife, that will change how you think. It influences you and change your perspective. Now, the important part of this is to understand that all these perspectives that you get is influencing how you will navigate life. And it changes you, and it makes your life complex. So keep this in mind. That's one of the building blocks for going forward. Next is judgments. I take judgments as anything you make your mind up about. So that means every one of us comes to earth and we are trained by people around us to make prejudgments. This means people will ask you, what do you think about this? And you will have an answer, or you will form your answer in that time then. Now, when you look at the picture next to me, there is a line for right and a line for wrong. And this is how you are trained to think. There is a position between the lines of right and wrong for each aspect. So that means if you think about love or sex or adultery, truth, lies, murder, you will have an idea already which tells you how you will respond and what you will feel when you come into contact with that aspect of life. Now, what people don't tell you is that with each of these fixed decisions, you are reducing your choice in the future. So people would like you to respond in a certain way. So they teach you how to respond so that you will respond in that way in the future. But that takes your freedom away. I hope you can see that. So, and as your choices are now reduced, you feel a cage it's invisible. It's an invisible cage that's built around you that takes your freedom away, your freedom of choice. But as you bought into this thing on earth where we are used to judgments of everything, you are very happy, although you feel there in the background, you feel that you are not free to respond the way you really want to. So, as you can see, the dots on this picture next to me is then showing some of the prejudgments that you may have, and in your life, it is also changed by what you have gone through in your history, and it will influence you and will take your freedom. The way that you should be is in the blue line, where you have no judgments about anything. Because, you see, you are capable, once you've learned about things, once you've learned about love or sex or adultery, you are capable to look at that situation in the time that it arrives to you. You have all the knowledge there in the back, but you don't make a judgment because you know there is different viewpoints and different perspectives that can change how you think about that specific thing. So you sort of reserve your judgments for the time that it is needed. So now you've got your judgments in place, you have no judgment anymore, and you know to look from different perspectives at situations, and then slams the next thing, which I call dualism. Now, every action that takes place has both right and wrong contained inside that. And depending on the perspective you look at that thing, it can change the action from right to wrong. So, if I take a sample of that, say for instance, you as a parent, you want to clean your child's room, and you do that, and then your child comes back and he says, "Oh, so you're unhappy about how I live." So that same action where you try to be nice, blow up in your face by the perspective of a kid that says you're unhappy with how he lives in his room. The same, for instance, with going to war. You can't plan to kill your neighbor, but you can plan to kill many people in a war. Killing is wrong, but from a different perspective, it is allowed. So what you see is that to remain free, you need to understand that people looking from different perspectives can think different things about your life. So, what do we take out of that? Is that your actions are not defined by the things that other people think about you, but by the intentions of how you are doing that thing. So you have to stay and look at what is your intention of your heart. And then people from different perspectives can say anything about that. The next thing you will have to battle with is ego. Now, ego wants to be important. It wants to stand out. Ego knows that if you want to be accepted on this earth, you will have to use the medium that people are used to, and that is judging what is right and wrong. So you will have to live to be right, so that your life is perfect, and that will give you a standing in the community, and you will be accepted by, all the people. You are such a good person because you're doing all these things right. So be careful. Ego will want to pull you back into judgment and saying what is right and wrong. And you will, again, as I said, it brings you back to losing your freedom of your choice. And you will eventually feel how difficult it is to live with ego, because you always have to check your back, and you always have to explain why you are doing things. to other people. So it will be much easier to leave ego and start to do your things that will give you more freedom. The next thing to look at is good intentions. Now, these are the nice things you do to accommodate for your partner and to try and make them happy. That all seems good. However, you can only maintain that which you do to make yourself happy. If you don't do that, these things may grow expectation inside you. The expectation that, oh, I've done something good. How do you feel about that? And your partner may not even know you're doing that. So eventually that becomes a cage, and the longer your life together becomes, you may feel entrapped by all these good things that you are trying to do. So remember to only do that which makes you happy, and the rest you have to discuss with your partner and say, okay, we have to do these things, and we balance it between the two of you. All other ways of doing this will put expectations inside you and eventually break that which you wanted to build up. These are just a few of the things that will influence your life during your time to find love and happiness. Thanks for watching.